Grace and peace. I'm hoping that I can do this thing in a couple of moments. Let me turn this thing down. I'm just using my phone to try to monitor the conversation. I'm going to try to click to a couple of different screens. I know it's Saturday. It's early in the morning. I'm supposed to be at doing some work. Let's just put it that way. I'm supposed to be over here at my people's house doing some work. But yesterday, I I received a video. Good to see y'all. Hill, what's good with you? I received a video link, and I was listening to what's being said. It seems like some other people are commenting. You know, the brother Benaiah Israel, that he commented on the whole Professor Katz thing, and I told them that if some new information came out, that I will take my phone, I will go live from work, and I would apologize to Pastor William Brown, to Pastor Kelly for putting out information. I don't want to stop no great awakening, but I don't want no lies being spread at the same time. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. So I said I was even willing to take down. I think I see 11 videos that could be somewhat offensive. Let's just put it that way. I see about 11 videos that I have that could be somewhat offensive, and that I'm not only willing to publicly apologize as a man, I'm willing to take down videos that may attempt to stop the movement or spoke bad against pastors. You can say what you want. I'm not a pastor. These dudes got mores or whatever. That's a pastor, to the Hebrew congregations, for y'all that don't know. That these people still have positions and they have followers and stuff like that. Not saying followers in a bad way, but they have followers. They have people look up to them, and it's like they've seen people on the platform with me. Everybody know this platform is dialogue. You can have some talk. I was kind of offended. I'm going to be honest that I was kind of offended that a lot of people were under the impression I did the Israelites wrong, when I've been more than fair. Everybody, Israelite conscious community, they know they could come here and that we can have some fair talk. A lot of people, matter of fact, a lot of Christian apologists, a lot of people out here calling themselves apologists, they came through my Sunday seminary. They know who I am. They sat in on a discussion or two, but a lot of people don't speak to me at all because they feel, a large portion of the Christian community feel that I sided with Israelites, even though I always claimed I was never Israelite. I said, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not Israel, because I know one day it was gonna, things would happen. I didn't know it would go down in this fashion, the way that it went down. Y'all know that I spend a lot of time. I don't want people to get confused. Some people out there saying, well, without us, Berean has nothing. No, you all confused. 650 videos. 650 videos. I got maybe 142, over 100 discussing Israel, and having conversations with other people. I was one of the first people on here before COVID, having panel discussions with people with different opinions, because that's what I desire. So people can hear things, see someone have a different opinion, but still believe in the book and still have respect for each other. So I was one of the first ones doing that. I have over 300 videos where I am online talking myself, discussing things myself. I don't want people to get this thing confused. I don't want people to get brainwashed with this thing. If I never talk about Israel again, you hear me and hear me good. If I never discuss Israel again, I'm going to have content to talk, because I listen, if you want to lead, you got to read. I done read something. I told y'all I done been away and I got to reading a whole bunch of something. And I choose to talk about stuff that pastors don't have no time, or the church don't choose to talk about. But there are times that I want to warn the church. So I'll stay on something when I see that new age occult, when I see that thing coming in, because I've studied a lot of the occult tradition. I've been steeped in that. I build with them people a lot. I do that a lot. So when I see similarities, and when I see so many pastors that are involved in different things, fraternal orders and this and that, I want to bring it up just to warn the church. Well, there was a time we said this, the older saints said this, but I see this creeping in, and I know this comes from over there. So I told people yesterday I was willing to discuss the whole thing. Alta said Israel came here after the channel was up for 3 years. Absolutely correct. This is why I often tell people they have to make sure they have their timelines together, because a story is being spun right now. Y'all know when the whole thing came about, I was blowing it to urban apologists, and I always had about 6, 7, 8 of them in mind when discussing the subject of Israel. I've always had a few of them in mind, but on the low, I can't even say behind the scenes, Abu and Faithful have constantly, if you go to Faithful channel, even more than Abu, Sister Cherry, Abu, and Faithful to God. Specifically, G-Man was doing it with the camps, a whole bunch. He was doing it with the camps, and even in the end, when everything jumped off, that's when I brought G-Man and I brought Sister Cherry on with the other sister that's running with them right now. And that's when stuff really got out of control, and people said I should have defended her, and it went sideways. It went sideways. My heart is still to carry on and have dialogue. As time went on, the whole thing came out about a scholar, because we were pushing scholars. They came out and they said that they had a scholar. They came out and they said that they had a scholar. They said people were harassing this scholar named Brunus. Abu, I think, if Abu's in here, hit me on Messenger. I think Abu did say that he did email Brunus. I'm not sure. I asked Sister Cherry specifically on this channel, did you email anybody that those pastors ever mentioned to her, harass them or whatever? She's never, from my understanding, contacted them. But Abu said that he did contact a gentleman. It seems like some people this is where it gets a little shaky. Some people started saying that the gentleman was harassed and people wanted to connect him with some black Hebrew Israelites, and some hatred was there. So later on, they said another professor came on the scene, but this professor, they are going to connect him. They're going to make sure they're going to make sure, hold on, I see my people in here, I was trying to read something. They wanted to protect the professor from anything like this. Now, it's strange because it seems that Abu, if I got my timelines right, it seems that Abu was in constant communication with a few emails from this gentleman. I can't say that Abu has been disrespectful, because throughout this whole thing, that doesn't seem to be his character, the way he talks, even when he's been on my show, when I see him with Faithful, when I see other people, when I hear him engaging people, he don't seem like the disrespectful type. So for somebody to just jump out of their character based on what other people say and start disrespecting another professor through email, I don't know if I really agree with that. From what I know about Abu, I never met him personally, but from all of the interactions and the videos and watching. Now, if y'all heard somebody say something like that about me, y'all can say that, because Berean sometimes he be moving funny. I can see y'all said he done wild out. I can see Berean doing that, because I have wild out sometimes on videos. I pulled the videos down. I said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but I have wild out at times. So they said they wanted to protect this other pastor. In the midst of this, another guy jumps on the scene. We call him the plumber. He don't really have a chance. He had a little teaching here and there, but he jumped on and he mentioned my name. And he said, well, I can never come on because I don't have no chance, because I'm nobody. I pulls him on the channel. He hit me in the email. I pull him on the channel. He said, how come Berean can't find this Professor Katz? Because people ran and just Googled the Professor Katz. Like y'all just can't find a Thomas Johnson. Y'all can just, because a lot of people have the same name. There's a Professor Katz that's very popular out there talking about shamanism. So what Professor Katz are we talking about? There's at least 3 of them on the internet. Other people faithful in them, they start going to and they start going to professional pages. They start looking around and things look strange. Let me ask y'all, before I get out of here and go to Home Depot, were you all under the impression, because I'm waiting, I got the videos ready, and I told my peeps, I said, I'm just going to delete the videos. He said, no, never delete videos. He said, make the video private. If anything, make the video private, make your apology. If you're going to make the apology. And I said, I'm prepared to make the apology. So I looked at the video from the brother Benaya Israel, and it brought up the same thing that the plumber brought up months ago. The plumber said, I found, if Berean's is what the guy from the Assembly of God Church, if Berean's guy, private investigator, couldn't find the guy, how did I find him? What's really going on? He threw doubt out there. Like I found him and Berean and them trying to hide it. So they connected me with Faithful and Cherry, and that's kind of my crew now, people are saying, despite of the fact that I bring everybody on. I've had everybody, I've had all type of Israelites on. But now all of a sudden that's my crew because that I wanted them to bring, I want every side of a story to come out. I'm not here playing with y'all. I want every side of the story to come out. So I'm like, what is wrong with the plumber? Why would he look at somebody from Georgia? The only connection is that Pastor William Brown lives in Georgia also. That's the only connection. Oh, well, he's a linguist. Well, what is a linguist in? That's how I said you can give black people don't need too much information before they can run with a thing. So it's easy to use black people. It's easy to manipulate black people because they're not going to cognitive. A lot of people's not going to, she said the back door. Okay, sis. All right, I'm reading my emails. I mean, my messages out. So it's easy to manipulate people because people are not thinking. And then in the midst of this, thank you, a video dropped talking about crafty counsel. It looks like when I heard the brother speaking 2 nights ago that he's picking up, he's resurrecting the same argument that the plumber tried to make. Immediately, all of us looked at like the plumber's wilding out. What is he talking about? This professor is not. It's in Georgia. It's not in Israel. It's not connected with Israel, and he's not connected or known as a specialist on the internet in the Hebrew language or with the Hebrew language. What impression y'all were under about the Professor Richard Katz? Were y'all under the impression he was a professor in Israel? Because I want to show y'all something from a comment section on a video. I'm going to go back. Let me see if I can share this. Right now, y'all know I'm slow with sharing, but this stuff got to be discussed. And I'm not saying that I'm just holding off on an apology. I'm holding off on an apology. Let me see if this thing is going to share. And this is one person from the comment section, because I know I'm not crazy. I've been going through links. I've been going through old videos. I'm full-time with this construction right now. This brother, John Tony, he's been in the comment section. For months. And when you see We Woke Now, we know from before, at least when he was coming on my channel, that was Pastor Kelly's YouTube channel. He used to bang, he used to come on my channel, but now this whole thing, he is in the midst of it. We don't know if this thing was concocted, we don't know if Pastor Brown did this, if Pastor Kelly is part of it, but now other people are putting their mouths on it. Benaiah Israel said, I'm going to speak for the first time on the subject, and he takes the position that the man in Georgia that has a dissertation, that has a degree in Gothic and European language and English, that he is the Hebrew scholar from the other side of the planet. This is John Tony talking to Pastor Kelly in Sister E's comment section. Okay, respectfully, I found that Richard Katz online immediately. Of course, we live in an age when I'm talking, if somebody's talking online, if I say something, whilst I'm talking, people are going to Google what I'm saying. So whilst I was on the video, like the plumber said, he said other people Googled and found a Richard Katz immediately when Berean was talking. Y'all think because I've been locked up, I'm stupid out here? Y'all think I didn't already see that there's different Richard Katz, but I ain't think nobody was so dumb. I don't think people so dumb to just align the first Katz that comes up on Google search. He has to match the qualifications. Like I said the other night, if I'm looking for a Michael Jordan, this Michael Jordan is just going to come up. But if I'm looking for a Michael Jordan that's a multi-millionaire with $5 million vehicles, that's a different story. A multi-millionaire, own multiple restaurants, have private jets, that's a different story. That begins to narrow it down. I have to look at the qualifications. What Michael Jordan? Even the cops. What a Michael Jordan that's white, a Michael Jordan that's short, a Michael Jordan that's fat? Because when the cops pull up names in the NCIC, when they pull names up, multiple names going to come up. Living in what state? So you have to narrow it. This guy, he's supposed to be from out of the country, connected with universities or some university in Israel. He's a scholar of the Hebrew language. That's what we thought. I could be confused. Okay, respectfully, I found a Richard Katz online immediately when the issue first started. He has no ties to Tel Aviv. What would make John Tony think he got ties to Tel Aviv? What would make other people think that there's some type of ties to Tel Aviv? It's Faithful in here. Okay, all right, I read that part. He has no ties to Tel Aviv University in Israel. All right. Now, remember Tel Aviv University or just Tel Aviv or teaching anywhere in Israel, because people are arguing now, y'all being petty. Who said he taught in Tel Aviv University? As purported in the infamous email, but is employed by a university in Georgia. So this guy is saying it doesn't make no sense. This isn't the same person. So I know nobody is trying to push this right here. I didn't think that nobody is trying to push this. Further, he is not a Hebrew. He's doing what any thinking person would do. He's narrowing it down, showing he doesn't fit the qualifications. Further, he's not a Hebrew linguist. Hebrew is not his language. That's not what he specialized in. That's not what his degree is in. This is not what he teaches on university level as a professional. Expert as purported to be. This is not the same person, just the same name. He's saying, I can't. Listen to the reply of the pastor, Pastor Richard Kelly, respectfully. I recommend you watch the video again. Pastor Brown never stated that the professor is a teacher at Tel Aviv University. He read the email signature block exactly the way it was written in the email. Listen to what the guy said, back to Pastor Kelly. That can't be your honest response. Anybody that's thinking now, let's put down Israel, let's put down church, let's put down apologetics, let's just put down some folk that's thinking with a half a brain. From what was said to right now to what's happening now, is it a switch? Is this the fugazi? That's all we're asking. And people are sitting, he's saying, I can't do it because that's not what's being said now. It look like something is getting switched up. This can't be your honest response. Google Katz is not a Hebrew linguist. As he was purported to be, because they got a Hebrew scholar. That's how I understood it. We got a Hebrew scholar to shut it down. He has no ties to Tel Aviv University in Israel as purported. The email you presented from him were reportedly from Tel Aviv, not Georgia. Clearly, the Georgian Katz is a different person from the Katz originally described. Further, scholars live to defend their controversial findings. They don't run in fear of academic suicide. Compared to many, let me open it up, scholars both black and white who uphold our claims of Israel heritage. So he's claiming to be Israel, but he don't want to ride with no lies. I said the same. I said, why? I said, wait a minute. There's so much more evidence. Why so much fighting for the pews in Georgia? Okay, it's your family pews. All three of those brothers are cousins. All of them are cousins. Kelly, Benaiah, and Pastor Brown, they all cousins. He's demanding an apology. I don't mind apologizing. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I don't want to apologize for the work I done put in with that community, for the work I done put in, for the dialogue. All right, y'all want to say it's about money. Y'all can say what y'all want, but the truth is going to come out, and we want truth. We don't want nobody to grab and manipulate a narrative like MSNBC or CNN. We want to hear it. That's how come when you're watching the news, you're listening to investigative journalism. If I'm studying Christianity, if I'm studying anything, a lot of people get offended, especially when I used to have all the physical books. They come to the office or they come to the crib. They see how many Masonic, how many anti-Christian books I got. People get offended and they want to judge me on the strength of my books. But I stay reading something else. I stay reading what the non-believers are thinking, how they're judging miracles in the book of Genesis and Daniel and prophecy and contradictions in the Bible. I got to read the other side. That's who I am. Don't do what I do. Half of y'all are backslide. Half of y'all are fall away and become angry. Don't do what I do, but I'm telling you how I am. I'm going to look into this thing. So he's feeling some type of way. Further, scholars, all right, got Israel looking bad, King. He talking to Kelly, this last line. Got Israel looking bad, King, like we covered it up for you. He's talking to Pastor Kelly. What Yah says, the heathen hold me in reproach through you. Can't do nothing else for you, man. I'm done. May we meet over in Jordan. People have been dialoguing. I'm telling y'all, and y'all seen the video the other day. I said, yo, this other dude was like, yo, they might as well fall on their sword. People spinning this thing to the next level, Alton. They spinning it to the next level. And it's bad when you spinning something to the next level as opposed to coming out. But I'm hoping, I'm going to tell y'all, and I hate that, I want them to be wrong about that. I want to be wrong. I want to say Noah, Boo, and them jumped the gun and twisted around. I want to say that. In my heart, I want to say that, but I'm riding with truth any way you look at it. I'm riding with the evidence that was put out there, and I'm riding with what I'm seeing. And because for this cause, people are greatly offended. For this cause, people are offended. All right, let me try to show something else. No thanks. Let me see if I can click on here. I'm gonna try to just read something else before I get out of here. share, and then in fact, then I'm going to go back to I got to go back to try to, let me see what this thing is saying here, tabs. All right, look at this now. Tell me if y'all, let me see, I can look on the phone to see this. This is part of it right here. This was from, I think, Faithful Fair Use. This Faithful put this up here, but he was when this is when Pastor Brown was reading the email. Do y'all see the screen, or should I make this thing bigger here? Let me see if I can move this over. This says Professor Richard Katz, Hebrew Linguistic Studies, Tel Aviv, Israel. Does that mean, this is part of it right here. Does this mean the email came from Israel? Does this throw you off if they're trying to claim it's the professor in Georgia? Hebrew Linguistic Studies. He didn't say Tel Aviv University. It just says Tel Aviv, Israel. Because it seems now that they're trying to say the man in Georgia that teaches Gothic, European language, it seems like what the plumber was pushing, everybody is riding with, that is the Richard Katz. That is the guy right there. Yesterday, I said, worst come to worst, Pastor William Brown lied to throw the UA community off. And I told y'all before that another brother that's connected with them, I didn't want to say his name. He said, Professor, he said, listen, Brown didn't come and lie on your platform, right? Basically saying, why you riding it so hard? He did not come. Good to see you, Apostle. He did not come. He did not ride, or he did not lie on your platform. I don't know what to say. It's myself and a lot of people are thinking that to make this the Richard Katz now, any way you slice the cake is lie. It's not the one that was presented. Any way you slice the cake. Do believers lie? Do pastors lie? Are pastors perfect? Absolutely not. Case closed. Checkmate, shut down. All of this stuff, keep shutting it down. Keep pushing for apology. Now, I'm prepared. Like I said, I'm prepared to apologize. I don't know what everybody else doing. I'm prepared to apologize. It ain't no big thing. We can hit that and keep moving on. Because I told y'all I'm fearful. I think they might got y'all on some of this DNA. We don't know who presenting it right because I don't know enough about it, but we're going to get all sides so everybody can hear and judge this thing on their own. We can't even get to the slave annals. We can't even get to the Hebrew names or Hebrew practices. We can't even get to the depth of the limber thing. We can't even bring them because a monkey wrench was thrown in the game. Of course, it's their job to try to. You ain't never been around somebody that got beat up in school. They done got beat up. They gonna try to act like, oh man, I slipped. That wasn't done. You a sucker anyway. And no. Because they're trying to act like what happened with the boo and what happened Christmas time was not a big thing. I was on the float. Dante was on the float, blowing shots, giving out Christmas gifts, all of this stuff. And I'm like, come on, y'all, man, this is what, I ain't gonna lie. One of them hurt. I'm like, oh man, this is some crazy stuff. But a flow was going. Everything was going. I'm like, all right, now, if folk want to talk, they're going to talk. Stuff's going to come out. Some stuff is happening now. All of a sudden, it got shut down. You can say what you want. The work that Faithful and Abu has put in, the work that they have put in on just dealing with that, on being on top of that, go to Faithful of God page and screen and just slide through some of his videos. He's not letting up. And it's not like he just jumped on it now. He already been on it with the Israelites. He already been on top of it. So now my thing is people want to be offended. Now Berean is a snake. Now it's all type of different stuff. And I gotta call. Shout out to my man. I got a call from my man. So I'm trying not to. It's a crazy time. I'm prepared to apologize, but I don't see a need to apologize as of yet. Benaiah Israel, I look at him on a different level, but he didn't come with nothing different. He tried to produce to me I don't say to me personally, he wasn't talking to me personally, we are not in contact, but what he produced was not what I thought. It looked like they're putting the spin on it and saying it's the man from Georgia. And I told you, the Hebrew brother told me, the other brother told me, he said, yo, that man's name was used without his consent. So I don't know if the man don't even know Pastor Brown, but Pastor Brown found a person that is a linguist that's named Richard. I don't know what's going on. I'm not putting no charges on nobody, but it's still looking too shaky to me to apologize and put out videos. This is not being cocky or anything. People, other people have said, yo, the mere fact you would even think about apology. The mere fact you would even think about apologizing, I don't have no problem with that. I'm trying to walk according to the book. I'm trying to walk according to love. I understand certain things that's happening, and the mere fact that I spoke so much on the subject, and so many other people have got in touch with me with doubts, with concerns, with questions that they have concerning this whole Israel and movement, and this is connected. A large reason why all of this stuff is happening, or people are looking at this as a viable option, is because people see supremacy within bootleg Christianity, not real Christianity. There's no supremacy in real biblical Christianity, but a lot of this bootleg, a lot of this prosperity, a lot of this nonsense is out here, and there's plenty of people that believe in the Bible, so they're looking for some things. Let me go back and try to read some of these comments. Grace and peace, grace and peace. Read the bunking of the virgin. All right, no, that might be something. He said, what happened to my man, as soon as somebody hit me at work, a brother I respect, y'all know him. And I don't even want to say his name because he said he was going to get back with me. He hit me and he said, he's like, yo, what's going on with you? Nothing, man. What's up? And, we start talking and this and that. And he brought up, Sister E and Sister E video and this and that. Then I was like, all right, man, I'm going to holler at you later. You good. I'm at work. I'm trying to wrap this stuff up with this. I'm just under pressure with these timelines and stuff. It's a lot going on with these, trying to get something done on a certain schedule. I feel like I'm a little behind. And he called me back and he said, yo, Sister E said she willing to take that. I was like, I already knew where it was going. I was like, all right, would you, I'm different. I take videos down on my own. I've been requested by other people to take videos down or whatever. He said, yo, she want to take the video down or whatever. I'm like, all right, no problem. I take the video down. I know 15, 20 minutes later, I still see the video up, but I know he just on the strength of who he is, I know what's good. If he said he said whatever, and he'd be like, yo, we're going to holler at you in a couple of days. I'm like, all right, no problem. And then I turned around, I looked, the video was down. So I took the video down first. He took a video down and he said, we're going to, get in touch. I'm not going to really discuss any of that anymore. But I did take it down after receiving a phone call from somebody I respect, somebody that I respect and love, that's a mutual friend. And it is what it is, but, I've done that in the past, took videos down. I dropped it. I'd be like, right now, whoever, even if I take this video down, yo, whoever heard it. My main people, they're going to jump on quick, fast, whatever you say. Let me see. It got to be something relevant, I'm take it down the next day, later on that day or whatever. But I just wanted to share that. I don't want people to say, well, Berean got out here like he was going to apologize. I'm just surprised that there's so many people that are out here thinking, well, Abu and them straight lied. I don't see enough evidence yet. I'm ready to bang. I'm ready to blow it. Abu and Faithful in them. I'm ready. But I don't see where right now, from the evidence that's out there, not only me, I told you that other brother was Israel in the comment section that was talking to Pastor Kelly. He's like, this ain't what it is. So if this is what they're shopping now, that it is a man in Georgia, he was never connected with Tel Aviv, and it's the Gothic language, he's not really a scholar in Hebrew, it's still, the whole thing is still problematic. People now, there are people that they're hating on me because they just want it to go away. Of course, I want my skeleton. I want my mistakes. I want my things to go. There's things that I want to go away. People still talking about. I just want it to go away, but it ain't gonna go nowhere. People still talking. And this is what individual people did. And this is what people do. So there's some things that's just not going away just like that. Let me try to read some there. He emailed, all right. And what you said, brother? He said he emailed Brunis and he told Boo Brown, all right. Oh, yeah, this could be the problem too. And that's how I said, when we keep digging, I don't want to make it look worse on anybody else. And, of course, other people like, no, you spent your time and you banged on the UA. You got to come on. You got to, it's the same energy. They keep the same energy. Somebody misquoted the other first scholar. Forget when Katz came on the scene. Somebody misquoted what he said. Either he was riding with the Hebrew, they're arguing he was under pressure, so he backed up off of it because y'all UA people and people are connected, people that's hating on Israel, y'all started banging and y'all turned around and made the man change his position. This is where, let me see what this thing is saying. This is where some of this stuff is coming from. A lot of people said they hiding, lying, and manipulating. The email said, this is the thing. The email said Tel Aviv, so we're under the impression. Some Israelites, myself, there's a few people that are under the impression Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv. Now, I remember we were talking when the whole other thing came out. The brother, I think it was the brother Yacoba, he was like, I think he was talking about the IP address or something. Don't misquote me on this. I might be wrong. And he was like, so why can't he be in the States visiting? And somebody else said, well, they could have multiple one professor can have, I think even Abu said that, a professor can have multiple addresses. If you're a professor, would you hit somebody at home on vacation in the States? Would you hit somebody from your personal email on your cell, or would you always do it through the university's email? It just says, it don't even say the Tel Aviv University, just say Tel Aviv. Israel, don't even say a university, but Hebrew studying, or with those words, like I said, just out there to throw the people off. Let me see. I was waiting to hear the conclusion of the matter. All right, somebody said no one wasn't under any impression. I was under impression they had a scholar from the university, from some university in Israel that specialized in the Hebrew language. I was under that impression. Let me see. All right, so Fethalon says, now Richard Katz in Georgia, who has a PhD in Germanic languages from the University of Georgia, teaches English to high school students, is the famed Katz. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like, because Benaiah Israel, he said, everybody get online and Google, and if you Google, that name would come up. And then when you go to the University of Georgia, you can see his 288-page dissertation is up on there. And what his language is, what he do. Yes, that's him. That's him. That's him. That's who they're claiming it was all of the time. So it's not, so Abu, or so by default, I guess they're saying Abu is automatically a liar. Berean is automatically a liar, because Berean said there is no Professor Katz, because the private investigator said, listen, don't even worry about that. I need no money. That man don't exist, on the strength of what I told them. From the university, from Tel Aviv, a Katz that specialized in the Hebrew language. That's a scholar of Hebrew teaching over there. He said that cat don't exist. The plumber runs and see anybody with a degree. And it seems like Benaiah Israel, they run and get anybody with a degree that live in Georgia here in the States. And that wasn't so that could be where all the confusion is. So yes, faith alone, that's what it is. That Richard Katz, nobody get in touch with him and terrorize him, because that's what they're going to say happened. That's the Richard Katz they're trying to. And as a pastor, if somebody come and confess to you, they did something bad. If you're a pastor, you do, even in the court of law, you do have a right to, you got a right to be quiet and not really speak on it. Because, we got laws and there's certain laws with a priest, you confess to a priest. The priest can't go and tell the police what you said. At least they shouldn't. And preachers have been perfected. All right, listen, Elder. Elder said the Richard Katz they presented doesn't exist. I'm asking y'all that. I've said that from the beginning, because the way it was presented to me, the way I understood it. I told y'all I often get in here and I would ask people, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. From what I know, he does not exist, and I roll with that. He does not exist. If he do exist, y'all got to produce him. Now it's coming out that he is the man in Georgia. It was his name just used. Was there a conversation and it just got out of hand and he didn't want to bring all of this craziness in here? The one that they produced, from my understanding. But I'm asking y'all, I'm just reading some comments before I jump up off of here. He said, now you heard what he said? He said, no one mentioned Tel Aviv, but your folk assumed Tel Aviv because of the language. Didn't y'all just see the email from Boone Church? That was on Faithful to God, but that's Boone Church. That was Boone reading that email and putting it on the screen. And on the screen it said, did y'all just see that? Or do I have to, oh man, I done closed this thing. Or do I have to pull this thing back up now? Because I knew people would say that, if that's the truth. Let me see. I pulled it off of, I pulled it off of Faithful to God's page. Let me see. 3 days, 3 nights. Let me see. Debunk. Which one? Oh man, he got so many videos up here. All right, 2 months ago. It says 3 months ago. William Brown, here it is. Let me click on this right here. Let me see if I can share that. Just for clarity. Just for clarity, share screen. This is William Brown reading. This is a clip from his thing. This is him. I probably said that's not his real voice. And the UA, the Illuminati, the Freemasons.
And after reviewing what Berean presented using some material, those markings are extremely close. And
that music, that's not a Kelly's edit. That's not a Kelly's video.
From those markings are strikingly close in comparison. My conclusion regarding the views, the words B'nai Yisrael or son of Yisrael or simply Yisrael should be noted. From what I see after examining what you sent, Professor Richard Katz, Hebrew Linguistic Studies, Tel Aviv, Israel. Now,
let me see if I can stop that right now. Y'all heard that, Professor? He read the email, Tel Aviv, Israel. He read it. Was that Brown's voice? Of course, some of y'all gonna say it wasn't. It was doctored. It was manipulated. Anybody's voice can be manipulated. I'm just trying to get to the truth. I told y'all I'm willing to apologize. I'm just trying to get to the truth. Let me see if it's any more. You got all right, so he said, so tell me how you would like to come on, Joe. How my people, when he say my people, I believe he's talking about Abu and them, or anybody that's loosely affiliated with urban apologists. You got hoodwinked, bamboozled, and run amok by your folk. And this is talking to Israelite community, that people, Berean had a large platform, so they got in there, they manipulate Berean mind to believe, to believe Professor Katz, to believe the lie. Was I hoodwinked? Because I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. The video said thank you. The video said Tel Aviv, Israel. Brown's video that was edited by, I believe, Pastor Kelly, because usually when you see Batman and Robin and the music in the background, everybody know that's Pastor Kelly editing. That's what he do. That's his thing. And it says Tel Aviv, Israel out, and they said I got hoodwinked. When Israel is asking Pastor Kelly question, the guy John Tony, he wanted to ask question. He wanted to ask question. That wasn't the guy that was presented. So Israelites are saying this, but then there's others. The majority of them say, oh yeah, see that Berean? You know, you can't help it. Y'all already know Berean retarded, Berean dumb. He got hoodwinked and he just got a big platform. So we got to shut him down because he got a good sized platform. So we got to shut him down. All right, let me see. Brutus said, we didn't say, Brutus didn't say he was contacted. Get back to, we didn't say, and I think if I'm correct, I believe Abu said he did speak with him. Now about all of that other stuff, and I think that email was shown where he was attached. Faithful and them got all of that stuff on there. Or somebody else said, of course he was contacted. It's called fact checking. But they believe, you know, it's already out there among Israel and certain people that the UA is moving like the mob. They strong arming people and they'll scare people and they'll use scare tactics. And nobody want to lose their job, especially when it comes to things like the hate group. The other guy on the email, I think it was Brutus, he said that, and they got in touch with some people. They said, I'm involved with the hate group in America. So it's like these people are out of the country. Automatically, I believe, I could be wrong, I could be retarded. I believed that Richard Katz that they're talking about that live in Georgia was not the scholar, because that was not the qualifications that was shared with me from my understanding. All right, somebody else said that Pastor Brown said that he wanted to protect the identity of Richard Katz after the. I did hear that. So if there was a fake IP and email address, so what? Okay, so you're saying if he faked all of that to protect them from the UA community doing what they're doing, okay, all right. And like I said, well, you protecting whatever you have to lie to protect it in the court, they'll probably let them get away with that. Okay, and if that's what it is, and that's what all we're trying to get to, if he had to do that. If he had to do that to try to protect them because he really felt that, I'm not any UA, let's just put anybody, not even anybody that does not like the Hebrew Israelite movement, or like the sister said, that want to go and fact check, and too many people start fact checking, and it looks like harassment, even if they don't physically threaten, or I don't know. Why is this so important? Somebody said, why is this so important to non-Israelites? Okay, what do you mean by that? Well, let me ask. Text and tell me what you mean by that. Before I don't want to start speculating, because a lot of people, want to, this conspiracies that's being spun out there they're part of a secret order. Especially that Abu, he's a Jesuit or something, because he's a known Catholic. But people, when they want to start throwing around terms to bring the feds on, feds already watching, but to raise flags to get people channels, it's just different. It's just different. Let me see what he say right here. Y'all saw the email trying to connect their scholarship to radicals in America. Why go from anyone we're searching for truth? What is that? Why go there from anyone who's searching for truth? If you're searching for truth, what's the problem with fact? We have to fact check now. Maybe we should have been doing this. We have to fact check now. Katz is important as it relates to integrity. But this is the thing, G, if he's trying to protect him. I'm sorry, I don't have no beef with them, but I just wanted the truth, and that's all I ever wanted to push. I'm just a little shocked right now that there others are finally coming out and saying that it is the Katz in Georgia, and we're only in our minds we were connecting it to Israel. Only in our minds we were connecting it to the Hebrew language, and I really don't feel that I have been duped by Abu. I just think he put some charges out there, and them charges needed to be answered. Like, yo, we can't even move on. We got to answer these charges. We got to blow at them. People ain't want to do that. And as soon as I pressed that, that's when people wanted to back away from me. I want to keep the Pew nonsense going. Even though they done dropped 4 Pew videos after they said they're not going to support me anymore. They done dropped 4 videos. That signs to me of people that want to control the narrative and don't want somebody to buck against something else. I told you, I've been a Christian a long time, and I've lost friends. People have come to speak. I remember the sister and the husband came to speak, and when they seen the level of books that I had, that's when I was like, oh, some books have to be had. Some books you can't mention, because you can't be a good holy pastor and have these type of books, And I had all my stuff out. So she's going through reading, and they never came back again. And it's happened numerous times. People like, oh, no, you're not no real. You got to be you part of the secret. You this and that and all of this stuff, because people are scared. Most people don't read anything against their faith. If you're Islam, if you're Jehovah's Witness, they tell you don't read nobody else's material. And most religion, most cults, most groups do that. I've never been that. I've been a free thing. I could move about anywhere. Anywhere I could build with anybody. Y'all ain't finna manipulate me with that. I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at your founder. I'm going to read this stuff. But most people don't do that. We have to admit it. All right, y'all. All right. It ain't 12. I thought I got to be there by 12. They said the electrician ain't there anyway, so I'm the electrician today. I don't mind doing that. I'm the electrician / I don't know what I'm gonna be doing today, but y'all just remember us. Y'all just remember us. It's a whole bunch of stuff on. I really don't mean no harm to anybody. I appreciate even all the Israel that come through still, that's looking out, that hit us, that's in the email. It's just like, yo, this is what it is. You admitted you found stuff within Christianity, then you stayed there, so don't be mad at, And so I'm getting stuff. I'm like, yo, okay, all right, G, I can respect that. Be like, all right, our side, this and that happened with our side. That don't mean I got to walk away from it. I'm not telling you to cease from being Israel. If you consider yourself Israel, I'm not telling you to cease from research. That was just an L that side took. If anything changed, if anything, information comes out, change. Not only this, you hear me, Pastor Brown? I love y'all over there. You can say what you want. Not only this, I'll take down any video y'all think is disrespecting the movement. Once I seen, I'll be like, all right, Abu and them, all right, that was the Fugazi right there. Okay, maybe I did get caught up with what's the name in them. Got messed around with all of them, because all of a sudden, that's my crew now. But I'm just with whoever's on this side of truth. Not Baptist, not Muslim, not Mormon, whoever's on this side of truth. That's what Christ said, follow me. And we got to get on that. And that's what I really want to be on. I really want to be on that. And it's just kind of hard, because I got people that I like on both sides of the fence. Maybe there is no difference, like Muslims said. Maybe we all just Israel. I don't believe in spiritual Israel, but I'm just trying to make everybody feel good. Maybe that's what it is. But if there's evidence that's out there, I can't speak to the contrary. I see stuff my Pentecostal people doing, and I got to ride with this, and I'm still saying, so I can't be out. I'm saying I'm Pentecostal, but I know A, B, C, and D. Boy, you tongue talkers, y'all ain't finna fool me. I know this here, and I know the evidence of where this come from and where we first seen this in America. And y'all trying to connect it with the Bible and Acts and this, and I understand it, but it's popped up here and there throughout the world. I've traced this thing, and we got to be able to trace a thing. We got to be able to just lay into a thing. Hold on, before I get up off of here, let me see. I told Abu, faithful Abu, and if y'all want to jump on, let me see if y'all are on here before I get out of here. I think I'm on 2 exits from this house I'm working on, so I can get there. I got a couple of minutes. Let me see if he try to hit me in Messenger. If so, I'll send you, I'll send you that link so y'all can clear this up. I think Faithful going to discuss something on this. Hold on a minute. No. Hold on. Just ask him if he want to get on, because one thing I do, I think it's important to get stuff from the horse's mouth. Good to see you, Shepherdess. As soon as I touch down, I'm gonna call you. Prophecy 3:15. What's good? So my thing is, we're all searching. That's what the brother said. Somebody said, Berean, quit being hating on what? Hating on what? It scares me, and I bring comments up like this. Berean, quit being a hater. Why am I a hater? Tell me why I'm a hater. Because I want the truth. I wasn't a hater before. Now I'm a hater. So Cherry brought that up the other day. Now I'm a hater. Now I'm a snake. When Israel was, as people would say, running amok on my channel, when I let them talk, when I you know how many apologists I done blocked for Israel? So Israel can talk so they won't be harassed like they do in all of the Christian chats all over Facebook, like they come banging. When the Israelites, when urban apologists came banging, that was all up in Sunday seminary with me. I blocked, you know how many urban apologists I got blocked? So I want that Israel to have free course, free, so they can be free to talk. I will put questions out here and there. But if I sense too much stuff flooding, let me block this one, let me block this one, let me block this one, let me block this one. Mother bro told me I ain't got no 1,000 Israelites blocked. I got 1,000 people blocked. I got plenty, and anybody that followed the channel, be like, yo, most people like, yo, you can say what you want. Berean riding with them Israelites. He said he ain't Israelite, he riding with them. They don't call me the devil because I feel for somebody that is a Christian, a born again Christian that does not claim Israel. I feel I rode harder than even a lot of Israelite mores out here on my channel. A lot of Israelites, I done rode hard for y'all. So this is and when I ride with people, I rocks with them. I ride with them. I ride hard. That's what I said about that other cat. You can say what you want. As soon as you told me, yo, listen, we can just woke church. We can start this and that. I'm shouting out woke church. I'm shouting out epiphany churches. I'm shouting out the movements. I do that. This is what I do. I ride hard. If I'm going to ride with you, I'm going to ride with you. If I'm going to ride with you, I'm going to ride. So I said, yo, I want these people to know, and I want specifically. They said, why don't you bring on brother such and such? Why don't you bring on brother such and such? Because I roll with specific people. Mike Holloway even bared witness. He's like, yo, I can't lie. That dude, Yacoba, man, listen, he's saying everything. I'm like, yo, these people are saying, listen to what these people are saying. I'm stressing them. It's the Son Eternal. What about the virgin, but the finished work? I'm going to stress them because I want those that look the most like Christianity so we can know about them. I don't care about these little fools running around here talking about they don't believe in no virgin birth. Salvation is the Lord, Obadiah. I ain't thinking about them. I'm talking about these people right here that's worshipers. These people right here that call on their name. They just look at the commandments different from us. They believe that the Son is eternal. They don't even mind, and many of them, they don't even mind by going to, I don't mind going by the term Christian. I wasn't looking for the radicals. There were specific ones that I was looking for. Hold on a second. Let me see. Okay. All right, brother. All right. No problem. I'm going to jump up off here then. I just wanted to see if this brother wanted to jump on. And this is where a lot of the real beef is. He said, D, I got you blocked. You see, and you a believer, right? I'm one of the ones you got blocked. I got mad people blocked. I just looked at my block list. I'm like, wow, couldn't go on for a minute. All right, he said, I could. All right, hold on a minute. All right, hold on a second, y'all. I got a couple of minutes. I'm gonna let this brother jump on for 1 second, and then we're gonna close out. But and then when people tend to do that. What it said? People tend to do that. I'm a hater. You gotta look. You can't change the narrative now that I'm a hater, that I'm foul now when I rode so long. Even the other sister, when that stuff jumped off, she was like, yo, you in my stop and you in my field now, because she know I let her ride. This is what it is. It's about dialogue. I gotta even shout out to my man. He was like, yo, I ain't even bring that up because that's another whole thing. Let me see if this brother jump on. I sent him the link, but I don't want this to be no hate. I don't want this to be no hate. Now let me stop. Let me stop. Now it could be a little bit of hate. Boy, I feel some type of way about you right now. I tell you, if you on, if you not on, I'm gonna tell you. I say, oh, I hate that. Boy, I feel
I've heard you say it. I've heard you say it.
see that. I'm not gonna lie, but you heard what happened the other day. You even said the brother Benaiah Israel, you said you respected him. He been on
Yes.
the channel before, very respectful brother.
Yep.
He said even when we was talking about scholarship and the interpretation, and he said it was a process and they're working on it and this and that. I'm like, wow, he's different. Gotta respect him. Because you can say what you want. People's attitudes are important, not just being a smart, might have a stink attitude. He got a pleasant attitude, pleasant brother. I'm like, man, the other day he spoke for the first time on it. What are your thoughts?
I find this whole, I mean, look, they clearly, they never said Tel Aviv University, but they clearly had this idea that this is a professor of Hebrew in Tel Aviv. That was clear from the emails that they read. The guy that they're connecting him to now, they're following the lead of the plumber, does not have any degrees in Hebrew. He, his bachelor's and master's is in English. His PhD dissertation was on Gothic. He has no degrees in Hebrew. On his LinkedIn page, he doesn't even list Hebrew as among the languages he has proficiency in. He's an English teacher in Georgia. So they're not in the same continent, and he's not a scholar of Hebrew. And this is important. I'm not saying everyone who gets into this has to be a scholar, but what I'm saying is they presented him as, he said this, boom, case closed. You can't speak anymore. There's literally what they were saying. You can't speak on that. He said there's no Arabic, so it's done. He said it's Hebrew, so it's done. But now if they're saying, well, actually the guy's an English teacher in Georgia who doesn't have any degrees in Hebrew, why is it that he shut down the conversation? It sort of begs the question. But I think, it's not the same guy, Well, I mean, and then there's all the other questions. I mean, like the way the emails were written, they were written in a style identical to the style of Will Brown, with the run-on sentences and all that. I seriously doubt that a man with a master's degree in English would be writing like that. The fact that he was writing PhD in all caps, just like Will Brown does, when he would reference people with PhDs. The fact that they had the same device and people were like, oh, well, those phones are popular, but it's like, it's the pileup of coincidences is incredible,
I said I forgot all even about that with the PhD and the run on certain things that, oh man, it's a lot. I see that as soon as you come on and start bringing out every single thing. But my thing is, and I know people would be offended, but we have to just look at all of the information. That's all it is. That's all it is. The whole thing is let's just look at all of the information. Can you listen, Abu? Listen, I ain't playing with you. I got you on here live in front of these people. I want you to tell the truth in Jesus' name, Abu.
Yep. Go ahead.
Did you harass that man? If you ain't not him, did you? Because all of this came from him. They trying to protect somebody that done been harassed.
That's the story they made.
Because I said that can't be nobody when they said the UA. I'm not gonna lie. I could be wrong. Forgive me. I said that got to be that faithful Abu or Cherry. Who would have done it? I said that. I can't lie. I didn't say it publicly, but they do. Y'all are the three names that crossed my mind, and I think Cherry said she ain't never hit nobody from over there. But you did say you had communications?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here's what happened. They built this narrative of harassment because they were embarrassed by what happened with Bunis. They originally presented Bunis as confirming an entire sentence in the Solitreo script. And when I asked them, I said, but, they never showed the actual Hebrew sentence, nor did they show him confirming it. So when I asked them about that, could you at least give us a string of characters? They didn't want to give it, right? So I reached out to Bunis and I asked him about it, and he revealed, no, he never confirmed an entire sentence. He offered one light suggestion of a single word, and he also explicitly told them before I got in contact with him, and they left this out. He explicitly told them he didn't think it was Solitreo script, right? But they hid all that, and so when that was brought out that they misrepresented Bunis, what they found out is someone else who had contacted Bunis had students who were Israelites, and he had mentioned that. He said, some of my students are saying this, blah blah blah. And he mentioned Israelites. He didn't say radical Israelites. He didn't say anything like that. So they started with this narrative of, look, this one email that mentions Israelites was poisoning Bunis against us. And then they started speculating maybe people were contacting his administration or something like that. They had no evidence of that. It was purely speculative. And then conveniently with Katz, they get Katz to explicitly say that, oh, someone contacted my university. Yet nobody knows what his university is. What university do people write to? I mean, come on.
Oh man, this is
So the only evidence of harassment comes from the cat sock puppet. He's the only one who's spoken on that. Bunitz never said he was harassed, you know. And as Faithful shown, I was corresponding with Bunitz well after these accusations of harassment, were surfacing from Kelly and crowd.
This is so crazy. But listen to this, Alton, where you at? I want certain people to look into this because I'm torn with this right here. Y'all know I'm saying, listen, do it for the culture. Y'all know I'm heavy on that. But look at this. Look at this right here. How am I supposed to feel about this? If I'm looking, does truth have a color? Let me ask you that, Joe Nuff. Does truth have a color? Because y'all scare me, even if y'all claiming y'all Israel and trying to put a color on Israel. A color ain't never been on Israel. You can look at y'all patriots. Y'all done went and married every complexion of brown. You got from brown to light to super dark in Israel. So when y'all start putting the color, why do you believe European, Muslim, Indian, not your black brother? I'm supposed to just believe something because Farrakhan say because Farrakhan black and not fact check him? I'm supposed to believe everything that come out TDJ's mouth just because he's the same complexion as me? Y'all don't know that was the number one thing with the whole COINTEL when Malcolm got killed? Y'all don't know that the informants, that police that were dark skinned. I don't know. I feel some type of way, but one of the things that scares me, if you're really searching for truth, if you approach the Bible this way, everybody in the Bible is black, anybody that's white can't speak truth for the Bible, you must don't like Dana Stevens. Because Dana Stevens looked like the oppressor. But y'all told me to get Dana Stevens on because Dana Stevens speaking that truth. So now when someone doesn't agree with you, how does that change now? You want to speak on that? Or before I click on these last two things to jump off
all I would ask is that people just look at the arguments themselves and not, because I think these worrying about people's skin tones and stuff like that, that's more of an emotional issue. We should just focus on the arguments themselves, focus on the facts themselves. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people can focus on the argument. All right, anything else in closing?
Well, I'll say this real quick, since we're on this subject. One thing, with all due respect to Kelly Richardson, that I feel that he's done is this was a thing strictly surrounding Kelly Richardson and Will Brown, this Katz fiasco. And the pews was, a minor disagreement. He seems to have gone out of his way to make it seem like if our disagreements with him and his cousin somehow constitute an attack on all Israelites, and it was never like that,
But no, but I can't. But I got to keep it 100. A lot of people feel like that. Look what my man say right here. Berean TV, Abu is part of delusion. You being part of what makes him part of the delusion? Read that. You read that.
Abu. It says Abu is part of the delusion. Him, like others, look all over for the proof just to attempt to find something to debunk what is being proven that we are Israel. See, but look, here's what I'll say about this. You can believe that you are an Israelite. You can believe that the African diaspora within the Americans is Israelite, and it doesn't require you to disagree with me about Katz or about the pews. These are two separate subjects, and I've always said they need to be separated. There are Israelites who don't believe that Katz exists or who think that this is your beliefs about the identity of the Israelites should have no impact on your assessment of this Katz controversy or whether or not language appears on the pews. That's all I say.
And that's my thing too. Even if forget the DNA and all, there's so much evidence that a lot of my people have not looked at. People in the church that even have questions, a lot of people have not looked at. And there's nothing wrong with that. If it comes out that it's German on the pews and it was all white folk that built the pews and all of us were, if that comes out, that still has nothing to do with all the other evidence.
Exactly.
All of the other things that have to be discussed.
Exactly.
But this is, some people are so that they want every bit of evidence to be the truth. We're like, all right, y'all got to take an L. Listen, what's the best? I don't watch those sports, but whoever the best football team is, they've took some losses. It seems like some people can't say, yo, we got to chalk that up as an L. We got to take that as a loss. We see this other dude already said, yo, they moving some type funny. I'm not going to be part of that. It's bigger than this. But for some reason, that, like I said, it's just people like family members, they have bad behavior. Your cousin going robbing over there and you ready to fight that man and do whatever because your cousin is foul. So your whole family got to fight together for his foulness. I'm not part of that, but I hate to say that, I know a lot of black people do that. Get out there and fight with your cousin. No, he got in and stuck up the store. He raped the man's daughter. But this is how a lot of us are moving. Sister said she's just shaking her head. All right, brother. You got anything else before we jump out of here? I know y'all gonna.
Oh, I got lots more, but I guess
ahead.
we could do it another time. I don't want to.
No, but go ahead. If you got some time, listen. They gonna work. I'm gonna work. I'm going to my people's house to work. I'm gonna work. If I gotta work till 9, I'm gonna work till 9. Hopefully, electrician ain't there. I'm just killing time. If he ain't there, he ain't there. I think this is really important because I'm really into this truth. And I told people yesterday that I was prepared. I got 8, 9, 10, 11. Y'all can say I'm a sucker if y'all want to. If they come out with something looking right, I'm going to get about 11 videos and I'm going to publicly apologize. I am going to do that. But right now, it's not me being a hater. I just don't see nothing yet. But Abu, you, Faithful, y'all are going in the hardest on this specifically. So people automatically, you're Catholic. Mm-hmm. You never came on here praying, asking us to pray to Mary, asking us to believe in purgatory, but you're Catholic, so you part of the Abu. Tell us the truth right now, because they said in Jesuit school they taught you to lie, didn't they? They taught you to confound the minds of the other people. And this is what people are saying. These are rumors that's going around, and the thing that hurt me is people believe it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. No, I don't have any Jesuit training or anything like that. It's just, I've just been simply trying to present simple arguments. And a lot of people have an emotional investment in misunderstanding what these disagreements are about. And that's how, and then a lot of this emotion pours in. But, I think if we just examine the arguments on themselves, I think what I've done has been very fair thus far.
I think it's been fair, and I think it'll be helpful to the conversation. People are saying, and we're hearing more and more of this, Abu, you admitted you don't have a degree.
Correct.
These other guys got degrees. You see, my man, his name is Dr. Kelly right now. You told he above you, you beneath him.
Yep.
So now, how does that work now? Because we got doctors and they got secret scholars and they're getting information from. Matter of fact, one of the things that hurt me is why we even had to go to university to outside people with so many Israelites in America. So many renowned Israelites in America with country. I'm talking about black Israelites. Mm-hmm. Black Israelites. How come we don't have Israelite universities teaching the language? We need to be moving in that direction. If this is important, if this is the language of God. Because even the apologist told me, he said, no, I believe that whole Adam and Eve, I believe they spoke Hebrew. I think if this is the God language, more people need to be studying this. We don't even need to go to any outsiders. But what do you do when people make statements like that? You're not a scholar. I think you try to critically look at things and understand things from the little bit you do know.
Yeah, well, this is what I would say. They're absolutely right. I'm not a scholar, but I would say that we look at the arguments on their own merits. The people who brought in this idea that you have to defer to the scholars was Kelly Richardson and Will Brown when they brought on Bunis. They were like, the scholar has spoken, that's it, it's done, right? But then when they found out that Bunis didn't actually agree with what they were saying, they switched it up. And, Kelly would literally say things like, Bunis doesn't agree with this, but we can still demonstrate it from his work. We'll compare it to, so it's like all of a sudden the non-experts now can speak up against the experts, they've been using that inconsistently,
And this is the thing, who can speak? Who has the authority to speak for truth? Do you think the goalposts? Let me just ask you this, and I'm getting the goal. Who've been changing? So they claim. I've been hearing this on both sides. Who's been changing or shifting or moving the goalposts? If there's been anybody doing it on both sides, who's been moving the goalposts?
Oh, with all due respect, I do believe they've been moving the goalposts. My position has been fairly clear. I never wanted to try to do these appeals to scholars, because my position is, whether you're a scholar or not, if you're going to present something on a pew, you have to, transcribe it out and let's see if you can produce something coherent. What they've been doing is, if they think they have a scholar on their side, then that's it. He ends the debate. But if someone else has a scholar on their side, well, that doesn't mean anything. Who cares what that scholar said, or we can disagree with the scholar. The other thing that I've noticed is when they compare the situation with, for example, there's one pew that we have two different proposed readings for. I made a hypothetical proposal of an Arabic phrase, a Quranic phrase on one of the pews. And for that exact same pew, Kelly Richardson presented a Hebrew reading in the Solitreo script. What's interesting is, in the case of the Arabic reading, 3 different scholars with different levels of confidence, some of them a bit more hesitant, but 3 different scholars independently of one another suggested the exact same reading for the pew. They all said it could say Ilahin Nas in Arabic, right? Which means God of mankind. Mm-hmm. Kelly Richardson's reading has 0, scholarly support for it. And I don't think a reading requires scholarly support. But the thing is, if they're going to make the scholars give them the final word, then it's strange to say the reading that has 3 scholars in its favor is irrelevant, and the one that has 0 has to win by default. And then on top of that, one of the things they've done with the Arabic reading is they said it has to be perfect. You have to explain everything on the pew. Brown recently said that, because for the Arabic reading, there's a few markings that aren't explained, right? And he goes, well, you need to look at everything. If you can't explain everything on the pew, then that's one of the reasons the Arabic reading fails. But then their Hebrew reading doesn't even explain half of that pew. And for that, they say, well, you have to understand that, it may have been different people marking up the pews, so you can ignore this part because somebody else could have marked that. Like they're literally playing with the uneven scales and different standards for the readings. And they had this other one that, it looks too sloppy. The seam in Nas, it touches the Aleph, so that's not the way you write Nas in Arabic. The seam and the Aleph are supposed to be disconnected. Yet when it comes to how sloppy the alleged Hebrew is, Kelly Richardson says, well, you have to understand it was made by slaves. They were under duress, And so, they're not going to be, he literally says the rules for language are off the table because these are slaves under duress. But yet the rules for language still have to apply for Arabic. It has to be perfect, eloquent Arabic. It can be whatever. It could just be a character for Hebrew or Ge'ez. And that's literally, that's one of the funny things. That's one of the other things that Kelly Richardson has proposed, that, if you can just see something that looks like an individual character, that's good enough for saying Ge'ez is on the pews, Hebrew is on the pews. But for Arabic, it has to be still coherent and clean. It has to be an entire phrase. Like something looking like an Arabic character isn't good enough. So yes, they've absolutely been playing with uneven scales.
I like the other guy. He said this argument been going on before we were born. A lot of people feel that you shouldn't have anything to say on the pews at all. I don't think. Can we argue? Can only scholars argue the pew? Because it's the same question a different way. Can only scholars discuss what's on the pews?
No, of course not. I mean, well, but then clearly, Kelly is not a scholar of these subjects. Brown is not a scholar. Benaya is not a scholar of these subjects. They feel they can speak on it, and I welcome anyone can speak on it. I think what we should focus is on the argument, not these attempts to. Because and again, it's a game. They say, well, only the scholars can speak, but it's only the scholars who say things they like. They discount the scholars they don't like. So they liked Boonis. Now they're saying, oh, well, Boonis flipped because he was harassed. They wave off Joffrey Khan, and it's funny. Benaya said that, you got guys that know Arabic, and they'll say they see something in Arabic, but they don't really understand Hebrew. Then you got other guys who understand Hebrew, but they don't really know Arabic. We need someone who knows both, right? Benaya said that when he was down in Savannah. So here's the thing. There has been one scholar who's intimately familiar with Hebrew and Arabic who looked at one of the pews. That's Joffrey Khan. He's the Hebrew chair, the Regius Hebrew chair at Cambridge. And he's also intimately familiar with Arabic. He's done decades of studies on Arabic, right? He teaches Arabic at Cambridge. So you have a man who's a professor of Hebrew and Arabic, and he looked at a particular pew, said that he didn't think it was Hebrew. He thought it was Arabic. But what do? They just wave that off. That's irrelevant,
Did you try to find Professor Richard Katz? Did you get in touch in any way with that person down in Georgia?
No, I have not done that yet, but I'm going to be honest. I mean, perhaps someone should ask him,
the same thing came up. I was like, and that's the same thing that people were arguing, not to bother the man, but I'm like, what other way? I don't know. I'm not telling anybody to do that.
I haven't emailed him yet, but look, if we do email him and he says, that's not me, I didn't write those emails, perhaps they'll just say, oh, he said it to protect himself, to protect his job.
Of course, it's going to,
these baseless allegations that they have.
Of course. All right, y'all, we're going to get out of here, man. I appreciate you jumping on.
Thank you, sir.
It's just clarity. It's just about clarity. A lot of people don't understand. That's all we want. We ain't out here. I don't want to bang on anybody. Like I said, I got 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I'll even do it this way. If the truth come out about Professor Katz, not only publicly apologize, I'll tell them, all right, what 12 videos y'all think? I won't even pick the ones that I think is violating, because they may think there's other ones. And I do mention these people names, and I'm willing to listen. Whatever videos y'all think I need to take down, because I don't want people to think for 1 second I'm trying to stop no movement. Not trying to shut down no movement, or I'm a hater any type of way. I feel that I've shown that I wasn't when it deal with the subject of Israel and the church and Christianity and urban apologists. I feel my past just on the strength of how I roll with them, how many I've had on here, the subjects I've dealt with. I feel that I've been more than fair, but I'll not only apologize, going over and above what I've done for any other urban apologist, over and above anybody involved in Christianity. I am willing to take down the videos y'all say to take down once we can just get to the bottom of this. This is no game. This is not me trying to win this. I don't care. I care about truth. I care about truth. And if y'all care about truth, y'all would understand what's being done. if y'all really, really care about truth. We'll find out who really cares about truth. And I can tell from some of the comment sections and some of the stuff that people know, y'all care about banging. Y'all care about the cause, and y'all don't really even care about truth, because there's relevant questions that any thinking person would ask. And I see those questions are not being asked at all. All right, y'all, I'm going to Home Depot. God bless.